finals, although there are finals that are being run in the evening and afternoon, the early afternoon sessions as well. Air temperature around 32 degrees, 33 degrees Celsius for this afternoon. The humidity is lower than it was on the opening day of the track and field, but it's 59%. It's still relatively uncomfortable for those doing the longer distances. Not much in terms of wind direction to speak of, so relatively fine day and perhaps some fast times in prospect for the athletes. And certainly another jam-packed program of events today, including the final of the men's hammer throw to get us underway as the 29th SEA Games continues. Men's Decathlon, they've got 5 events remaining after 5 events on the opening day. It'll begin with a 110-metre hurdle shortly after 3 p.m. local time. And semi-finals to come in the men's and women's 200. And then we're on to the women's triple jump final shortly after the men conclude their discus throw in the decathlon. Men's hammer throw will be a victory ceremony, but it's a longer edition of the women's 10,000 metre race walk. It's an event that returns for the first time since 1999, would you believe? And a special athlete come out of retirement for the event. So this is the start list for the men's hammer throw. In the final, it'll see 5 competitors challenge for 3 medals. Kitipong Bun Mawan, Wong Siu Chia, known as Jackie Wong, Tantipong Pechaya, Daniel Ferreira and Hit Ong. The athletes will be introduced momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so the athletes having lined up
to start this hammer throw men final. Introduction of competitors. Competitor number 297, Kitipong Bun Mawan.
Kitipong Bun Mawan, the 21-year-old Thai athlete, 5th place in 2015.
149.
And he's been over 62 meters so far this year, and that'll put him in contention for a gold certainly. Wong Siu Chia, or Jackie Wong as he's more familiar to Asian athletics fans. Another Thai athlete,
196.
Tantipong Pechaya.
Representing the Philippines.
Well, the 36-year-old Daniel Ferreira is not having the best season of his career. He's struggling to get to 55 meters, but he's a 62-meter thrower at his best.
Representing Myanmar.
And representing Myanmar, Ye Tet Aung, 20-year-old.
65.63 meters set by Alex from the Philippines, set in 2015 in Singapore.
So the athletes will have a few final warm-ups and then an opportunity to get this final started. A gold medal on offer for one of these 5 men. Well, there's plenty to cheer about Jackie Wong. He's gone over 65 meters this season. And as recently as the Korea Open in June, he was sending the hammer out well beyond 65 meters, a 65.34 that won him the title. Kitipong Bun Mawan, though, he's been around the 63-meter mark so far this season, so he'll be one to challenge. There he is. And he'll be first up, the Thai athlete. He was 5th in 2015. Struggled to get things going, but he's somebody who's added a significant number of meters to his hammer in recent years. And he'll be looking to capitalize on that. Not only challenge for a medal, but we'll be hoping that he and is able to claim the gold medal ahead of the crowd favourite. Another Malaysian, Bakri Hamid, not competing, and Caleb Stewart of the Philippines, defending champion, not here. It's a wide open field. Oh, it's about building great speed in the ring. It's a decent hurl out and over 60 metres first up, so really laying down a marker here. Well, that'll be a good 61.5 metres for Kittipong Boonmawan. Well short of his season's best. And that is a decent marker to hit first up. Legal throw, good speed in the ring as well. Very good speed. Let's try to keep a low centre of gravity and just continue to build up some momentum before the release. It's all about timing, momentum. Certainly a strength element to this. 61.87, that's a very, very decent opening throw. Now, to give you an idea, 61.87 would have won him a comfortable bronze, and that's his opening throw at the last SEA Games. Maybe somebody can go well beyond that. Now, marker laid down. Jackie Wong, 65.34 this season. The 25-year-old who's medalled in each of the last 3 SEA Games. And he won bronze 2011, 2013 and 2015, but he comes in with the best performance by an athlete from Southeast Asia over the last year. Didn't quite get to the very edge of the circle, but he'll take that though. That's surely beyond 62 metres, maybe even 63. So 2 stunning efforts to open from Boonmawan of Thailand and now Wong of Malaysia. Well short of the edge of the circle. He's still got plenty of room to manoeuvre. If he can get that movement in the circle right, the rotation in the circle right, could go a couple of metres further. 63.04. Well, what that's done already is it's taken a couple of the competitors in this field out of medal contention already. Certainly out of gold medal contention. So Tantibong Pechaya, Thailand, comfortably over 62 metres. And the man who's been struggling to get beyond 56 metres this season. He's got the potential. He doesn't have the physical strength of some of the other competitors, but what he does have is speed in the circle. A solid technique. He's left-handed, so he spins in the opposite direction to the other competitors. Oh, that is just disappointing. That's very disappointing. It clipped the net as it went on its way out. Just didn't quite get things going in the circle. Trying to build up that momentum again. I think it was just the side of the hammer that clipped the net a little as it went. And a shake of the head immediately as it was released. Well short of the mark that he'd be wanting to achieve first up. Legal throw, but he won't be happy with that. The man who's medalled at the last 4 consecutive games, twice a champion, twice a silver medalist. Manuel Ferreira, Mr. Medal for the first time in 2015, finished 4th, just outside the medals. And 36, looking to get back into his very best. Of course, there are a number of athletes from around the world that have shown over the years that they have a longevity in events like discus and hammer throw. Decent speed, but again well short, and that's not going to go quite as far as he would like. Around about 55-metre mark, I'd imagine. Which has been fairly standard for Arno Ferreira this season. He can go beyond the 62-metre mark, and there's a 61.18 that claimed him bronze, got him fourth in 2015. So 53.96. Opening throw, there's still plenty of time for improvement. Now, certainly less fancied. Yeah, Tet Aung, just 20 years old, set a national junior record and a national record with his effort in the 2015 SEA Games. It was 50.31 metres.
Sebentar lagi kita akan saksikan acara balapan 110 meter lari bakal Decathlon di sirkuit ke-6. Jadi pergaulan perempuan berdominan. Sokan sama-sama kita ambil pandangan yang ringan untuk menyaksikan acara balapan tersebut.
Better with his low centre of gravity, but it doesn't have the power behind it. So that's going to be short of 50 metres.
Ladies and gentlemen, the men's under 10 meter hurdles Decathlon. Lane 3, 274, Bui Wansu, representing.
So 48.78. We'll be disappointed with that. We'll want to get beyond the 50-metre mark at least.
230, representing Thailand. Lane 7, 265,
We focus our attention now on the men's decathlon, event 6. It's the 110-metre hurdles. There is Toledo, the man who finds himself not in front. Sutisak Singon, and there is Toledo, are the two who are battling for the gold medal. So Bui Van Su of Vietnam goes in lane 3. On to lane 5. Adisak Mimbunya. Malaysia's Mohammed Lukman Zuki did not start. And on to lane 7 we go, as Nguyen Van Hui, the defending champion, did not finish. Pulled out after 2 events. And the man who ran a 14.8 at the Asian Championships in this event. He wanted to get his decathlon back on track. And there is Toledo, going in lane 8 for the Philippines. So Sutisak Singon in lane 7, and there is Toledo. The two who are favoured between them to battle for the gold medal. Well, Toledo's best overall is this season is still 7,129 points. Singon's claimed 7,732 already this season. Bui Van Su of Vietnam, 6,840 he's managed to post already this season. That was at the Thai Open in June. So those are the three who will fancy themselves for the medals. In what order, though, is yet to be determined. 5 events remaining in the men's decathlon, which is effectively a 2-day track and field combination. Times will be converted to points. Bui Van Su looking very good, going in lane 1, and real battle on between Toledo and Singon. Oh, it's Toledo is coming away with it here, and he's going to sprint to the line. It'll only be a 3rd place finish for Sutisak Singon. Bui Van Su with the third place. Oh, now has Arias Toledo hurt himself in claiming victory in this men's hurdles decathlon? Well, he's holding on to his left ankle. We've already had a few disappointments in the men's decathlon with the withdrawal of Mohamed Lukman Zuki before the competition started, and indeed the withdrawal of the defending champion Nguyen Van Huy of Vietnam. Just clipping the first hurdle there was Sutisak Singkon. Toledo just clipped the third last hurdle. Has he crossed the finish line though? Just looked like he did something to the ankle, went down a bit. Oh, maybe with that hurdle, clipped the inside of the ankle. He's not the tallest man, and those hurdles stand 3.5 foot from the ground. It's over 1 meter high, so there's some distance to get over. Now this is the concern for Arias Toledo's run of 14.95. It's a decent time. It'll keep him in the lead after 6 events, but will he be able to continue? Men's decathlon will continue in a couple of hours' time. Next event is the discus throw. And after that is a little bit of a break before eventually the pole vault gets underway. And then a 3-hour break before the javelin. Confirming, Bui Van Su, 15.15. We'll take that. Medical attention has come out for a handful of the athletes. Sutisak about the only athlete who's not being treated. It was Adisak Mebunya who was being treated, who finished 4th for 15.92. Mohamed Lukman Zuki did not start. Nguyen Van Huy did not start for this race, but he did not finish the event. After 2 events he pulled out, withdrew as the defending champion. Toledo will maintain his lead. Anil Ferreira, hammer in hand, after an opening effort of 53.96, good enough for 4th place overall. Chasing Wong, Burmawan and Pichaya. Plenty of effort being put behind the hammer, but he's still not getting the distances. Maybe closer to 55 meters there, but probably around that 54 meter mark. If there's an improvement, it'll be a very slight one. Needs a fairly significant improvement just to get himself in the medals. Trying to maintain his balance. Well, 54.08, so it is a slight improvement over the 54 meter mark. He's been battling to get to 55 meters this season, but easily 62 at his best. Now, a young athlete from Myanmar, national record holder, wanting to go beyond 50 meters for pride, if nothing else. Oh, the technique is just leaving him a little short. He's not getting much movement and momentum, pushing him forward in the rotation. Left himself with half the circle yet to cover by the time he had released. Could have gone at least another one rotation, but needs to find a way to get himself closer to the edge of the circle. Look at where he releases. Now, most are releasing towards the very front of that circle. He's releasing it halfway. And that's a meter odd, nearly a meter odd to play with. Not that it's making an enormous amount of difference to the distances he's throwing. It's not going to get him out of 5th place. But if he's near the edge of the circle, that's a 50-meter throw at least. So as things stand after 2 rounds, Kitipong Bunmawan and Jackie Wong, both well over 64 meters, both very impressive with their opening 2 throws.
Untuk acara Decathlon disiplin yang keempat.
We move on now to the start list for the women's 200 meter semi-final number 1. A recognisable face now, surely, after her very impressive, thoroughly impressive 100 meter title. 100 meter gold medalist Lê Thu Chin of Vietnam. Alongside her is the defending champion from Singapore, just 20 years old, would you believe? Veronica Shanti Pereira, a bronze medal in the 100. Alongside her, just 18 years old, living in the United States, studying at UCLA Berkeley, Zion Rose Nelson of the Philippines, 23.74, and she set in Los Angeles in April. Tasapon Manakit finished 5th in this race in 2015, and the same time as Richardson. He'll go in the 2nd in 2015 in the 100 final, but was finished as silver medalist. And then going in lane 7, Dong Srehip of Cambodia. It's very much a learning experience for the young Cambodian athlete. Athletes being asked to wait for some time. It's taking an inordinately long time for the starter to get the athletes to their marks. This could make things a little uncomfortable for athletes. They prefer to get to the blocks and get the start going. 200 meter is a slightly different prospect to the 100 meter. It includes the lower bend of the oval track. And there are athletes who can run bends better than other athletes. You need to focus on staying in your lane. You need to focus on speed. You need to also keep speed up for good 200 meters. 100 meter you can do in a flat-out sprint, no problem. 200 meters, some can go the entire distance running flat out. Other times it's about giving a little less around the bend, and when I say a little less I mean just take a percentage or 2 off. But eventually the athletes at the starters blocks. Oh, we have a false start here. Well, this is a little disconcerting for the athletes. It was a long wait before they were asked to go down to on their marks. Well, there's a little concern among the athletes. There's a card coming out, and is there a disqualification in the offing? Oh, they look to be going pretty simultaneously. Perhaps there was a movement in the blocks, but nobody was ahead of the gun, I imagine. Certainly didn't look to be the case. Perhaps there was an error with the starter's gun. Oh. So out comes the green card. No disqualifications here. So clearly an error with the starter's gun. But again, this is the type of thing that proves disconcerting for all these young athletes. And I say young athletes, Letu Chin is 20, Pereira is 20, Nelson is 18. A Cambodian teenager going out in lane 7. Oh, this is a little better here. At least they get away, and the focus very much on the defending champion, Veronica Shanti Pereira of Singapore. Letu Chin, gold medalist in the 100 at this event as well, going on her inside and going very nicely. Going on the outside is the up-and-coming Philippines athlete, Zion Rose Nelson, and Tasapon Manukit is not letting anyone really get away from her. It is going to be a rather cruising semi-final here for Letu Chin. Veronica Shanti Pereira, I imagine, just holding a little back as well. And Zion Rose Nelson crossing the finish line third with Tasapon Manukit just a little behind her. Very much a 100-meter athlete. Well, she just looks so confident, Letu Chin, like nothing in the world could bother her. 23.52 at the Thai Open in June. A very easy run for her, but again, good around the bend. Zion Rose Nelson running very close to that line at one stage, then just corrected her line ever so slightly. But look at the effortless striding of Letu Chin, the Vietnamese sprinter, proving that she's got plenty of ability, not only over the flat 100, but indeed around the bend in the 200 as well. And then once she hit the straight, just opened up a little gap on Veronica Shanti Pereira. Perhaps a little marker laid down ahead of the final. She knows that the Singaporean is the defending champion. Very comfortable for the 20-year-old. Oh, facial expressions didn't suggest much. 23.63. She'll take that. So Letu Chin. 23.63. She's easily quicker than that. And a very comfortable run to settle herself in the first semi-final of 2. Veronica Shanti Pereira with a 24.17. Good enough for second place overall, and still plenty to give, no doubt, in the 200-meter final. It'll be run in the evening session on day 2 of the track and field. And there'll be competition from, amongst others, aside from Letu Chin and Zion Rose Nelson of the Philippines. Another Philippines athlete in Kayla and East Richardson, who goes in the second semi-final. Not to mention the favourite of the home crowd, the Malaysian Husnia Zulkifli. So confirmation then of the results of the women's 200-meter semi-final. Number 1, Letu Chin ahead of Veronica Shanti Pereira, and Zion Rose Nelson of the Philippines finishing third.
Para hadirin hadirat majlis kita dipaparkan kembali diumumkan sebuah keputusan bagi acara 200 meter separuh akhir 1 wanita.
Now for the second semi-final of the women's 200 meter. as the crowd realises that the local favourite is going to be running next. Husnia Zulkifli finished 6th in this race in 2015. Finds herself going in lane 3. Kayla Nice-Richardson of the Philippines is certainly one to watch. Kugapriya Chandran of Singapore will go in 5. Papai Selina of Laos will go in 6, and Kunyarat Pakdi of Thailand will go in 7. And a few faces on the scoreboard. A few that are noticing themselves on the big screen as well inside this national stadium. Bukit Jalil. It was the second semi-final then of the women's 200 metre. And we had the disruption to the start of the first semi-final of the women's 200 metre. With an inordinately long wait at the starters' blocks, and then gun was firing. Athletes having to be called back, and then second start. There was no false start first time around. There was an issue with the starter's gun. And the Malaysian fans, well, they're wanting more gold medals, and there'll be a little pressure on this young lady, Zaidatul Husnia Zulkifli. Well, she ran a 23.8 at a very fast Pilditch track in Pretoria in South Africa this season. The night series, which run in South Africa, a very popular event. Now, she won the 100 metre in 2015. She finished silver in the 200 metre, and she's decided she wants to focus on the 200 metre at the 2017 SEA Games. Kayla Nice-Richardson. Going alongside Richardson of the Philippines in 4 is Kugapriya Chandran of Singapore, going in 5. 25.34 season's best back in June, but she has a PB of under 25 seconds. Papai Selina of Laos will go in lane 6. And from Thailand, Kanyarat Pakdi. So this is the second semi-final of the women's 200 metre, the athletes having been introduced. But this is going to be an interesting run, because most of the athletes that are competing in the 200 metre ran in the 100 metre. The athlete to watch is the athlete who deliberately pulled out of the 100 metre, Kayla Nice-Richardson, who's defending champion, to focus her attention on running this 200 metre. She wants to claim the title after claiming silver in 2015. She's going to have a battle on her hands, certainly, with defending champion Veronica Shanti Pereira, who beat her in 2015, and indeed led to Chin, who's been looking so effortless in her races so far. Here's Richardson waiting for the starter's gun. Well, she was a major surprise of the 2015 SEA Games. She was just 17 years old, now 19, with a little more refinement in her racing, in her running, in her structure. And she's had the opportunity to compete at the World Youth Games back in 2015, also the World Juniors last year. Kugapriya Chandran though, 24.9, a personal best that she set in the Hong Kong Intercity last year. She'll go in 5. But Husnia Zulkifli of Malaysia will go in lane 3. And that is exactly who the crowd will be behind. Well, how to run the bend, get away first time in the second semi-final of the women's 200 metre, and immediately it's Zulkifli up on the inside of Richardson. Now Richardson's going to hit her stride when she gets to the straight, but on the outside going very well as Pakdi of Thailand, who ran a phenomenal bend. And has the Malaysian got enough here to hold on over the straight. Indeed, she extends her advantage, and it's a very impressive semi-final run from the Malaysian. All three athletes have finished top three, just slowing down at the end. Zulkifli ahead of Richardson, ahead of Pakti, and Kugapriya Chandran and Pape Selina finishing very close at the finish line. There might be an opportunity for one, maybe even two of them, depending on time, to sneak into the final. But Zaidatul Husnia Zulkifli running a very impressive and fairly comfortable semi-final in the women's 200 metre to claim the top spot in the semi-final, and indeed put her in a decent lane draw. 23.96. She'll be in the centre lanes for the women's 200 metre final, where she'll be alongside the Vietnamese star Le Tu Chin. But she ran the opening 50 metres so impressively, and the way she finished around this bend. Well, Pakti ran a very impressive bend from the outside lane, but wasn't able to quite keep it up in the straight. And Richardson, who's got some real pace down the straight, just looked like she was jogging along, cruising along for the most part. I'd like to see what she does when she's going flat out. Not much of an indication about what she's been able to do so far this season. Richardson. But the Malaysian, outside the medals in 2015, is aiming for not only a medal but the gold medal, as she goes sub 24 seconds again over the women's 200 metre. So Richardson of the Philippines finishes second, 24.57. Confirmation then of the results, and it looks like Kugapriya Chandran has done enough to sneak into the women's 200 metre final with Kanyarat Pakti, Kaylanice Richardson, and indeed the winner Zulkifli all advancing. So these are the women who advanced to the final. Le Tu Chin of Vietnam, the quickest qualifier, just ahead of the home favourite Zulkifli. Defending champion Veronica Shanti Pereira will go in the centre lanes as well. Now, Kittipong Boonmawan, nearly 62 metres with his first throw, well capable of going 65. Well, the real battle is between Kittipong Boonmawan of Thailand, the man in your shot, and Jackie Wong of Malaysia, both confident 65 metre throwers. Good speed. Oh, he likes it a lot, and that's why he likes it. Very, very close to the 65 metre mark. 64-65. That's good enough to take him into first place overall. Now, Jackie Wong of Malaysia, currently in second place. Left-hander. Good rotation, good speed again. Does he like this? He's watching it, he's watching it. Oh, that is agonizingly close to Kittipong Boonmawan's efforts. It's good enough to take him into the lead by 3 centimetres. Very close to 65 metres. Now, Anil Ferreira of the Philippines. Currently in fourth. Multiple bronze medalist in this event. former champion back in 2009. Silvers at 2011 and 2013 games. Wants to get it out there just a little longer. That's a better effort. That's a more impressive effort, certainly. It'll be over the 55 mark. Yeah, 55.49. So as things stand, it's Wong 3 centimeters ahead of Bunmawan. They've exchanged the lead 3 times between them already after 3 rounds. This is the start list then for the men's 200 meter first semi-final. Athletes from Cambodia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore and Brunei will go in lanes 3 to 9 in the first of these semi-finals.
Para peminat olahraga yang dihormati sekalian, kalau juga kita beri tumpuan ke acara balapan yang akan berlangsung sebentar lagi 200 meter. Lelaki di peringkat separuh akhir 1 akan berlangsung sebentar lagi.
So the athletes waiting patiently ahead of the start of this first semi-final. Peng Sokong of Cambodia will go in lane 3. Of the Philippines, John Christian of Philippines will go in lane 4. Going in lane 5, a renowned sprinter who was bronze medalist in the men's 200 meter in 2015. He was the 100 and 200 meter double champion in 2013 in Myanmar, Minapra. He goes in 5, he'll be among the favourites here. Luong Van Dao of Vietnam turns 22 next month. Already clocked a 21.42 this season. Going in 7, Arvind Tevar Gunasagar, 21.31 at the Malaysian Open in July, 5th in the 2015 final. Bit of a showman and a man who's got a bit of a showbiz career as well as having an athletic career. Timothy Yap, or Yap Jin Wei, 22-year-old Singaporean, will go in lane 8. Mohammed Noor Firdaus of Brunei Darussalam goes in lane 9. So the athletes to their marks. Sokong, Christian, Minapra, Long, Kunusegaran, Yap and Firdaus. Getting away first time in the first semi-final, the men's 200 meter. Good looking run from Minapra, the champion in 2013. It's a fine looking bend, just going a little wide initially, but he's got enough space and indeed finds himself with enough speed as well to comfortably jog towards the line. He's been caught by the remainder of the field, but I dare say he's in full control of his run. Very close though between the next 4 finishers. But a 21:27, so jogging toward the finish line, nowhere near the Asian record set by Nigerian-born Qatar athlete Femi Ogunode. But a comfortable enough run. Sub 21.3, that's quick enough to medal. Good run around the bend for Chirapong Minapra. The 24-year-old looks confident again. He's trying to build back to his previous best. 3 gold medals he won in Naypyidaw in Myanmar in 2013. Not only did he win the 100 and 200 double, but he helped Thailand to the 4x100 meter relay gold as well. There's a gold that he won with Thailand in 2015, his only gold medal. Missed out on medaling in the 100 in 2015 and won the bronze in this 200. Got a man who's gone 21 seconds this season, a 21:29. Claims the first semi-final of the men's 200 meter rather confidently. Clearly in control of that race the entire way.
Putusan resmi bagi acara 200 meter lari separuh akhir satu peserta dari negara Thailand. Chirapong telah membuat catatan masa 21.291. Keputusan tidak resmi.
So the athletes making their way from the oval track. It's a good looking result for Minapra in the first of the men's 200 meter semi-finals. He knows he's got a bit of a battle on his hands with the likes of Trenton Anthony Beram of Philippines and Khairul Hafiz Jandan, the 100 meter champion of these games, going in the second semi-final. Oh, there's a little something for the crowd. Playing the showman, playing the showman. They're loving it. So a couple of showmen in that shot. Timothy Yap as well is a star in a series in Singapore. Confirmation then of the results. Chirapong Minapra 21:29 ahead of Firdaus of Brunei. Gunawan Segaran 21:42. 21:5 for Christian of Philippines and 21:51 for Luang of Vietnam. So between 2 and 5, all very close. Now, much depends on the second semi-final, the speed of the second semi-final. It'll be a bit of a nervous wait for Luang of Vietnam. See whether or not he advances. Family outing for some, come to enjoy the athletics. The afternoon session well underway. Malaysian athletes, including Zulkifli, himself a bronze medalist already in the men's shot put, the Asian Para Games champion in the F20 category. And playing it up for the Malaysian fans. Two athletes out on track, just practicing the starts ahead of the second semi-final of the men's 200 metre. So these are the athletes who will do battle for a place in the men's 200 metre final in the evening session on day 2 of the track and field. Aksonisat and Mudiasa of Indonesia, Beram of Philippines, Khairul Hafiz bin Jantam, the man to watch, of Malaysia, going in 6th. Siripol Punpa of Thailand, Singapore's Kelvin Kang, and Get Perat of Cambodia will go in 8th.
Ladies and gentlemen, lady on the men's 200 meter.
Athletes being introduced for the second semi-final of the men's 200 meter. That's of Aksonitsat of Laos will go in lane 3.
Lane 4, 1 to 5,
Dewa Made Mudiasa of Indonesia will go in lane 4.
Lane 5, 209, Anthony Beram representing the Philippines.
Trenton Anthony Beram, the 21-year-old, around the 29.6 at the Asian Champs. The Philippines man will go in lane 5 and will fancy his chances. But this is a man who's come into his own in recent months and indeed did not disappoint in the men's 100 metre. The champion and Southeast Asia's fastest man, Khairul Hafiz bin Jantam, goes in 6 for the host nation, Malaysia.
Lane 7, 262, Siripol Punpa.
Little dab for Siripol Punpa of Thailand. Goes in lane 7. While in lane 8, it's the ever-smiling 27-year-old now, Kelvin Kang. Kang Lee Leung of Singapore, two-time medalist at the Southeast Asia Games, both in the relays. Twice an individual sprint medalist at the Asian University Games. And then going in lane 9 and get Perat of Cambodia. Akson Sat, Mudiasa, Peram, Jantam, Punpa, Kang and Perat. Getting away to a really good start. The man going in lane 6, Khairul Hafiz bin Jantam, the 19-year-old looking very good, but so too Biram on his inside. In fact, Biram might be just slightly ahead indeed as he comes out of the bend. Biram is looking very strong. He opted not to go in the 100, and Biram of the Philippines has got this completely under control. He's going to stride to the line, 20.97. Well, that really has laid down the marker. It's the quickest of the semi-finals and the quickest to qualify. Is the man from the Philippines, Trenton Anthony Biram, the 21-year-old, 20.97 in the semi-final. He'll be looking to go quicker than that in the final. In the finals of the Asian Championships ran a 29.6. So really looking good so far this season. Don't take anything away from Khairul Hafiz Jantam. Took silver in the 200 metre at the Asian Junior Championships last year, but a man who smashed the longest standing Malaysian athletics record, the 49-year-old 200 metre record at this very same venue in July, 20.9. The focus very much on the man from the Philippines. A fine bend, and by the time he hit the straight wasn't going to be caught. Extended his lead ever so slightly and then backed off, just conserving a little energy. Plenty of momentum carrying him over the line though, to go sub-21 in this semi-final. And comfortably the fastest qualifier. So it's been rounded up to 20.99, still sub-21 seconds. So the only sprinter to go sub-21 seconds. In the semi-finals of the 200 metre for men. Confirmation then of the results. This Anthony Biram of Philippines, 20.99. Khairul Hafiz bin Jantam, 21.36. Siripol Punpa, good enough for second. Kang, disappointing, 22.38 for the Singaporean. But Mudiasa of Indonesia managing to come in 21.5. That means I think he will sneak into the final. And he does. By 1/100th of a second he sneaks into the final. So the men's 200 metre, this is confirmation of the qualifiers, and what a battle we're in prospect for, because Biran Menapra and Hafiz bin Jantam all look particularly fast. So Jackie Wong Siu Chia currently leading only by 3 centimeters. Good speed, very good speed. Oh, he likes that, and that's why well over 65 meters. Is that the winning effort? 65.90 meters. Well, with that, he's just broken the SEA Games record that took Caleb Stewart to gold for the Philippines 2 years ago. So a new record for Wong. Is their response from Kittipong Boonmawan. Currently second, after Wong's SEA Games record effort of 65.9 meters. He can go over 65 meters. But has he got enough here? He likes it. How much does he like it? Oh, it's on the 65 meter mark. And when it's measured, it might be a couple of centimeters short. Oh no, 65.49. So just short of Wong's effort, but over 69 meters. And 65 meters. Daniel Ferreira. Currently in third after his effort of 55.68. So in bronze medal position for now, battling with Tantipong Pachaya, the two veterans of Southeast Asian hammer throw. How far is this going out? Oh, that looks like a bit of an improvement as well. That looks like he will just improve on it. Yeah, 55.68. So after 5 rounds, it is Wong Siu Chia, Jackie Wong of Malaysia, who leads with a new SEA Games record. Kittipong Boonmawan, 65.49. They are going to win silver and gold between them. So that's the final effort of the man in 5th place from Myanmar. Here, Tet Aung, just 20 years old. The national junior record holder and national record holder for Myanmar. Well, slightly better use of the circle, but still not. He looks just disappointed with the way he's tossed that out. And again, just walks out of the front of the circle. So there's Thailand's Tantipong Pachaya. Final effort, if he can go beyond 55 meters, might put himself in bronze medal position. This is a 62-meter thrower. Twice champion, 2011 and 2013 gold medalist. Twice silver medalist. The 34-year-old battling to get it out beyond 55. Can he do it here with his final effort? Well, the answer is no. Just got it wrong, threw it into the side netting, and he misses a medal by 1. He turns 35 in a little over a month. And he's guaranteed the bronze medal now is Arnil Ferreira at 36. There's a certain longevity in the sport for many athletes in hammer throw. Chris Harmse of South Africa, 22 consecutive national titles over 2 decades of competition. Arnil Ferreira at 36. Well, having missed out on a medal in 2015, that is a much better throw, and that might be the best of his competition so far. Just reinforce, it is indeed his best, a shade under 56 meters, and confirms his bronze medal, back in the medals after missing out in 2015. Now, over 65 meters, Kittipong Boonmawan of Thailand has one final effort to heave the hammer beyond Wong of Malaysia, who's just set a new SEA Games record with his effort of nearly 66 meters. Is there another response for a man who led for a couple of rounds? Oh, steps out, won't count regardless, and with that Malaysians can start to cheer. They have secured another gold medal. Well, he knew it was not going to be. It was a fine effort, 65.49. It's been a thoroughly impressive men's hammer throw competition. The battle for gold has been nothing short of sensational. Look at that. Every one of his throws beyond 63 meters. Well, Wong has gone long. He's got the gold already, but what can he do with his final throw? Can he improve the SEA Games record he's just broken? No. It's another big throw, 65.5 meters, but his new record, 65.9 meters. The new SEA Games record means that Wong, bronze medalist for the last 3 SEA Games in succession, is now a gold medalist at the SEA Games, and at 25, what kind of career awaits him? Well, he's still got plenty of time to develop as a hammer thrower. His best surely is still ahead, but in front of his home fans, he has secured the gold medal. Confirmation of his SEA Games record, 65.90 meters for Jackie Wong, or Wong Siu Chia, ahead of Kittipong Bunmawan, who has to settle for silver despite a fine tussle between them. Philippines' 36-year-old Anil Ferreira claims the bronze. Celebration time. Get the flag right, wants to pose for photographs. Oh, this is his moment. What a delight. 25 years old, as a youngster, he's come, he's learned, he's claimed bronze medals in previous SEA Games, but this time he finds himself claiming top rung on the podium. New SEA Games record, 65.90 meters. He gets to pose for the cameras, for the pictures, and that'll be appearing in a few Malaysian dailies tomorrow. Well, he'll take that. Malaysia has another gold medal in the athletics, and Wong is a champion for the first time at the SEA Games. But a four-time medalist now for the 25-year-old hammer thrower. Opportunity for the volunteers to get on the action.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to the National Stadium of Untitled. As we are into the third day of the athletics, we just witnessed the men's hammer throw, men's decathlon, Division 6, women's 200 meters, semi-final 1, women's 200 meters, semi-final 2, men's 200 meters, semi-final 1, and men's 200 meters, semi-final 2. Shortly, we will witness live the men's decathlon, Division 7, discus throw. Please be here as we need your support, encouragement, and thunderous round of applause as we forego today's event right from now till 10 p.m. at night. And ladies and gentlemen, we humbly request your silence before the start of any match, because we would like the participants to hear the gunshot before the kickstart their match. So please adhere to the rules and regulations, and when you hear the word make sure that we have a pin drop silence in the stadium as to ease the participants to hear the gunshot clearly. Thank you.
Final warm-ups and preparations as they prepare for the women's triple jump final. Well, that's the champion-elect, some might suggest. Well, she's won gold at the last two SEA Games.
Malaysian
Jumper Ramsami as well. With Londa of Indonesia, certainly the star. She's long jump and triple jump gold at the last two Southeast Asia Games. Both Tran and Vu of Vietnam have been there and thereabouts in Southeast Asian competition in recent times. So Vietnam have got two genuine medal prospects. A fine athletics competition so far already have Vietnam. A handful of medals collected on day one of the track and field.
Has made a new record, 69.90 meters. Wong Siu Chien, Malaysia. Congratulations to Wong Siu Chien from Malaysia for breaking the new record, 69.90 meters. He has defeated the previous record holder from the Philippines, Caleb Stewart, in the 2015 Singapore, beating his record of 65.63 meters. Respected audience, yesterday was an excellent day in the athletic discipline. From 3 p.m. right up to 10:30 p.m. we had excellent matches, excellent championship. And today, the third day that we are here for the athletics. Please be with us from now till 10 p.m. tonight for another round of excellent championship in conjunction with the 29th SEA Games Kuala Lumpur. Coming up next at 4:20 p.m. the women's triple jump finals. Stay tuned.
Para hadirin berhawa stadium yang dihormati sekalian, akan berlangsung juga acara pada kali ini adalah acara lempar cakra Decathlon disiplin yang ketujuh lelaki, dan juga pada tempat pembuatan acara lompat kijang wanita akhir akan berlangsung. Dan pada pukul 4.30 adalah acara pengambilan pihak kepada pemenang-pemenang yang memenangi acara yang dipertandingkan pada hari ini.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 4 p.m. later, we will witness the men's Decathlon discipline 7 discus throw. Yesterday, we had 1 goal from the discus throw discipline from Malaysia, and today, the second day for discus throw. Let's wait and see who will ride the gold, silver, the bronze. Following that, we will witness the women's triple jump finals. Ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for the next event to be presented to all of us, we would like to take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors this evening: TM, Rapid KL, Petronas, NASA Virtual, FBT, Ajinomoto, Petronas, the Naga National, Traveloka, Grab, AirAsia, and all of you who made here this evening. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you.
Can I use this?
Yeah, you use but straight, huh? Not take like this. My friend, don't take like this. Like this one. Make it straight.
Excuse me, sir. Do you need to let your pet know to do Yeah, that's right. People come over the microphone when they see.
So this is the start list for the women's triple jump. And the final that'll be completed in this afternoon session. 2 Vietnamese and 2 Malaysian athletes are in action. The favourite though is the Indonesian Londa, who is both the defending champion in the triple jump and long jump. Choi Mereng of Thailand will also go, as well as Lainli Puttavong of Laos. Certainly set for a rather intense battle. The Indonesian SEA Games record holder, Maria Natalia Londa, wanting to retain the triple jump gold medal that she won in both Naypyidaw and Singapore. So the athletes to be introduced.
588.
representing Thailand. Parinya Choimarang of Thailand will be your first.
506, Maria Natalia Ronda, representing Indonesia.
The bronze medalist in 2009, 2011 silver, two-time gold medalist Londa will be Indonesia. This is Kirtana Ramsamy of Malaysia.
Ramasamy, representing Malaysia.
Just 20 years old.
633, UT
Well, one of two Vietnamese medal potentials for Team Men. 27-year-old, 1929 jumper this year.
Pyo Tangong Lianli, representing Laos.
Lenli Puttavong of Laos, 21-year-old.
2-1,
Wonderful opportunity to gain some experience.
representing Malaysia.
Shaidatun Nadia of Malaysia will
630,
be one of two Malaysians in this final.
Vietnam.
Another medal potential is a silver medalist from 2015, Tan Hue Hoa of Vietnam, 26-year-old. But finished just 2 centimeters behind Londa, in fact, in 2015, so we'll be wanting to get beyond that mark and indeed get beyond her long-time opponent in Londa in this final. So Parinya Choimarang of Thailand will be first to go to start this women's triple jump final.
He was standing there. He was standing
Trying to get good pace down the runway. Launch, well, that looked like she was just a little over the board there. Well, decent looking distance into the pit. Just needs to get the landing right. She's got some good speed down the runway. And just to look up to the coach. It was clear that she was over and into the plasticine. Quite a clear no jump. And well over. You can see that the plasticine in green, she just continued through with it just to get a settle and a feel for the distance. Well, that would have been a good 1350 jump had it been legal. So a no jump to start, and the athletes will want to just settle themselves by getting a jump in. Certainly that'll be the aim of Maria Natalia Londa, a 26-year-old wanting to become a 3-time champion of the women's triple jump at the SEA Games. Indonesian flag bearer at the 2016 Rio Olympic Games. Real power in her legs, powerful run. She's got a powerful launch as well. Goes with the left. Oh, just looked like a little bit of a clip on the way through. Didn't quite get the distance she would have wanted. And what is most important is just registering a legal jump first up. So the record holder, well, the SEA Games record at least, 14:17 when she was on her way to the title in Myanmar. So launched strongly with her left, and then it just looked like she caught her trailing leg on the tartan. Indeed she did, and I think that disrupted her slightly, so a little shorter of where she might normally be. But a 13:26, it's a fine enough jump to get her competition underway. Ketana Ramsami of Malaysia. She's taking a little time to settle herself. And athletes sometimes take a little time to settle themselves. If there's a hint of a wind about as well, they feel a little uncomfortable, but eventually she feels comfortable enough to go. Looked like she was building up to speed, and it also looked like she was a little over on that board.
Leading is compared 265.
Indeed.
In second position is
Not a legal jump. That green is a type of plasticine which leaves an imprint if an athlete touches that mark. Not by much, but
ladies and gentlemen, point
no jump in the opener.
Decathlon race after 6 disciplines. Thank you.
First of the Vietnamese contenders, 13:29 jumper this year, Wu Thi Men, 27-year-old who missed the medals by 1 in 2015. It's a chance to begin her series.
Dan kali ini peserta yang keempat, peserta negara Vietnam yang telah melakukan lompatan peserta dari Thailand, Malaysia, peserta dari Indonesia, Maria Laptan, dan juga peserta Malaysia, Kirtan. Di kali ini peserta dari negara Vietnam, Wu Thi, melakukan lompatan yang pertama. Dan setiap peserta melakukan 6 lompatan.
Trying to build into her stride, find some pace. Oh, she's just drifting a little. It's a good looking jump though. Just drifting a little down the left for some time after she launched. It's a good pace that she built up to. Just inexplicably drifting up down towards the left. Lose a little distance. Good height, good flight. Straight up. And that's right up near Games record territory. So 14.15. Well, that's a very good opening jump. I said she was a medal contender, but that right there is a type of jump that you expect to win gold. Bear in mind, the SEA Games record is 14.17. She's just jumped 14.15. Now, Puttavong of Laos. What has she got in response? Looking to find a decent opener, or at least a legal opener. Doesn't quite have the pace, and I think she overstepped as well. A little short in the sand. A little short of the 13-meter mark, but no legal jump for the young athlete from Laos. Going just over. It's not uncommon to see athletes, particularly in their first jump or so, to not quite hit the mark. So no jump first up. Second Malaysian athlete in action. Datun.
Para hadirin sekalian, lompatan pertama bersama 521 Untitled Chapter dari Malaysia. Peserta yang ke-6 acara lompat kijang wanita.
Well over. Didn't even bother. Just got it completely wrong. Well, foot so far over, she didn't even bother trying to go for the first jump into the pit. Just pulled out of it. There was no points, so another no jump in the opening round, which has been dominated by Wuti Men's opening jump of 14.15. Londa, the defending champion, nearly a metre behind her with her opening jump. And now, turn Wei Hoa. Silver medalist in 2015. Now she's capable of going 14 metres. Oh, that didn't look anything like a jumper capable of breaking 14 metres. All short of where she'd like to be. We'll just get a few words from our coach. Just looked like she was trying to extend too far in. It's fine to have a strong takeoff. You land on your takeoff foot for the first jump and then jump with the next. 12.72. She's in third overall only because no jumps have been registered by all the other athletes bar two, who are both in front, the defending champion and her compatriot Wuti Men, with a massive 14.15 to open. So no jumps registered by 4 athletes, including both Malaysian athletes. And Vietnam looking good for being in the medals. This is the victory ceremony for the men's hammer throw.
The medal will be presented by Yang Berbahagia Dato' Arif Ibrahim, President of Malaysian Athletics Federation and IAAF Authority. Mascot and seniors will be presented by Yang Berbahagia Dato' Saidul Osman, Sport Commissioner of Malaysia, former national athlete and sea gold medalist for Heptathon. Bronze medalist from the Philippines, Verena Arman.
Well, the bronze medalist returns to
President of 50
the podium after missing out on a medal in 2015. Fine return for the 36-year-old from the Philippines, champion in 2009, multiple silver medalists. He has bronze in 2017. Big smile, thumbs up. Well, in one of the more impressive displays of any silver medalist, Kittipong Boonmawan was a brilliant effort in the men's hammer throw. Exchanged the lead several times with the man who eventually won. Not to the delight of the home crowd. The champion is from Malaysia after 3 successive bronze medals in 2011, 2013 and 2015. Wong Siu Chia, Jackie Wong to some, is a gold medalist, and he gets more than just a gold medal, he gets a hug and a kiss from the president of the Malaysian Athletics Federation. Wong of Malaysia with a new SEA Games record, 65.90 meters, breaking Philippines' Caleb Stewart's mark of 65.63 that he set on his way to winning gold 2 years ago. A thoroughly impressive display.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
Claims a gold medal. Now his anthem. Well, the medalists for the men's hammer throw. Titanic battle between two giants, Boonmawan and Wong. It was the Malaysian who came out on top for gold, and a fine finish, perhaps to his career, for Aniel Ferreira, a bronze medal for the 36-year-old from Philippines. Some genuine delight for the home fans. He was posing for photographs with the volunteers, with various officials. Now an opportunity to pose with his gold medal. Absolutely delighted, as well he should be. Gold medal from the 29th SEA Games, and after bronzes in the 26th, 27th and 28th SEA Games. We're sharing a good old laugh with the media contingent, the photographers trackside. Will be ushered off once again to conduct interviews with the world's media. No doubt a delegation of Malaysian media waiting to chat to him post receiving his gold medal. Now this is the start list for the women's 10,000 meter walk final. There are 6 athletes that go. Elena Go Ling Ying of Malaysia, Thi Kang Hien of Vietnam, Tan Tan Sui of Myanmar, Yuan Fu Young. Well, this is being introduced. So fourth in the 20,000 meter in Singapore is Elena Go of Malaysia. Thi Kang Hien of Vietnam goes in lane 2 for the start. A smile from Myanmar's Tan Tan Sui, who was 2015 silver medalist in the 20-kilometer race walk, or 20,000 meters. Well, this is a legend. She's genuine legend. 5-time gold medalist. She won the 10,000 meter race walk the last time it was held in 1999. She still holds the record, the 41-year-old. Panti Bik Ha of Vietnam goes in 5. 2015 bronze medalist over 20,000 meters. Asarawan Charuan of Thailand. Now 3 medals on offer, and this is 25 laps of the 400 meter oval track inside the Bukit Jalil National Stadium. Standard 400 meter distance for the track. Yuan Yufeng, 41-year-old Chinese-born Malaysian, wants to prove that she is still the best in this discipline. 5-time SEA Games gold medalist in walking events, 10,000 meter and 20,000 meter. So immediately into stride, it's the 2 Malaysians who head out in front in the early stages. Elena Go Ling Ying, who's off to a rather speedy start, and Yuan Yufeng will just try to settle herself. A few athletes are just trying to tuck themselves in behind her, but immediately it looks like there's a little bit of a sprint going on here for Elena Go Ling Ying. This is not a pace she will be able to keep up. You'd imagine for 10,000 meters it's about finding your rhythm, finding where you most feel comfortable and in control, and of course there are a few elements that need to be adhered to as well in determining who goes on to win. There are a handful of techniques that need to be adhered to, but there are also rules and regulations that involve paddles and judges, and involve various actions. So a decently quick opening leg here for the younger of the Malaysian competitors, but effectively what you need to do is walk without losing contact with the road. You must also walk with your leg straightened, not bent at the knee for at least one moment during each step. Your supporting leg must be straight in the vertically upright position. Now, bear in mind, when it comes to the race walk, it's all about what is visible to the naked eye of the judges. It is not about what you can see in slow motion, or indeed what you can see with photographs that are published after these races are concluded. It's about what you can see. The judges will be looking out for them. They're positioned around the course. They have yellow paddles which show effectively a sideways S and an inverted L, which symbols denote the 2 ways in which athletes will fail to comply with the regulations. So he's currently tucked in second position, Panti Bik Ha of Vietnam. Elena Go is stormed out into a very early lead. We'll probably be looking at around 45 minutes, 46 minutes for the top athlete. But athletes need to be constantly aware of transgressing. Cannot break contact with the road, or with the track in this case. Effectively, what defines or generally is the distinguishing point between the 10,000 meter rather than 10 kilometer and 20,000 meter rather than 20 kilometer is whether or not it's concluded on the track or on the road. Generally, it's 20 kilometer road race and 20,000 meter race walk on the track. There we go. It's looking very strong. Great balance. Head held high. She's got the technique right as well. The thumbs tucked in close to the hand, and she's just swinging those arms very effectively. Body upright. And hips. There's no doubt a great deal of pressure that gets put on the hips, but in very simple terms, she is straying close. Oh, there's a paddle. There's a paddle from one of the judges. Now, I'd suggest that's not for bent knee, but rather for loss of contact with the road, when you tend to find you're picking up speed, perhaps not quite hitting your tempo. Sometimes it's clearly visible to the judges that there's a loss of contact with the track, the tartan track. So in simple terms, the back toe needs to remain in contact with the track until the heel of the leading leg makes contact with the ground. Now she's just gliding off to head to one of the watering stations. There are watering stations for each of the countries positioned on the far side of the track as we view it. Now, immediately there's a withdrawal here. There's a problem for the legendary athlete, who's disappointingly going to be limping off here, Yuan Yu Fang. She came out of retirement to compete in this race, and already she's decided that that is it. Feeling it in the hamstring.
And she's off the track. Nevertheless,
five-time gold medalist. She won the 10,000 meter walk in 1999. The last time it was held as this event in Brunei, Dar es Salaam. Still holds the record, 45.22. And then she won the 20,000 meter walk from 2001 to 2007 before she retired to focus on marathons. Just came out of retirement to prove that she still got it, she said. And somebody who's run everything from 1,500 meters to 20-kilometer road race walks all around the world. So disappointment for Yuan Yu Fang of Malaysia, but her compatriot Elena Go Ling Yin finished fourth in the 20,000 meter in Singapore, is off to a blistering start in this women's 10,000 meter race walk. And perhaps even her compatriot's record to be in danger, but there's still much to be concluded and seen in this race. Vietnam's bronze medalist, who just pipped Elena Go in 2015 in the 20,000 meter.
and once again,
It's Pan Thi Bich Ha of Vietnam. So looking fairly strong herself. So nobody hanging over her shoulder for either one of the top two, Elena Go and Pan of Vietnam. So just watching out for the paddles. There's a series of events that happen before an athlete will be disqualified, and it's happened to various athletes on grand international stages as well.
Discipline 8, pole vault at 5 p.m. So stay tuned for that match at 5 p.m.
And an opportunity to finally settle into her stride, just slowing the pace down ever so slightly. There's Elena Go. And what Pran is hoping to do is just build into her own and catch up. Just trying not to lose contact with the road. Oh, and there's a bent knee violation. That's the inverted L or a sideways V, whichever you prefer. Now, that denotes that a knee is bent. And that warning coming out for athlete Asawamong Gakcharan of Thailand. So the leg, as I mentioned, must not be bent at the knee. It must be straightened for at least 1 moment during each step. The supporting leg must also be straight in the vertically upright position. If it's not, you're breaking into a run. So currently third for the Thai athlete. There's already a warning from one of the judges. All the judges' rulings are based on their own views. It's all done by human eye judgment. So in slow motion and still photographs, you might be able to see violations, but bear in mind they might not be visible to the human eye during the actual race. But an athlete can't be given a second caution by the same judge for the same offence. There's no limit to the number of yellow cautions which may be issued by the judges on hand. But if a judge thinks an athlete has broken a rule, they can issue a red card. They don't issue it directly. It's a message that's passed on to the chief judge, and the chief judge then posts it on a posting board, which no doubt we will see later on in the race. A posting board that has the athlete's race number, sometimes name, and next to it a picture of the red card violations. And if an athlete collects 3 red cards from different judges, 3 different judges, then they will see a red paddle raised. It's put up in front of them, and the chief judge or his assistant sometimes will then disqualify the athletes. But Elena Go is still leading for Malaysia. There's barely 9 minutes gone in this women's 10,000 metre race walk. The events to be concluded on the track in Malaysia as this event returns for the first time since 1999. So just gaining ever so slightly on Elena Go, who's out in front. Yes, Vietnamese Panti Bika. Just trying to make sure that she's walking down an imaginary line. And in fact, if you drew an imaginary line along the road, the athletes would be trying to step on that. It's all about balance. It really is about balance. An opportunity to give you a greater idea of the lead that's been opened up by Elena Go. She opened up a very substantial lead early on. It's not exactly being extended. Pan is finding a way to work her way back into this. It's around about 100 meters, nearly 100 meters already. Needing to be careful not to break into a run of any sort. And there's always the danger of violations, of course. And the judges placed all around the course. So we're just holding onto a leg for a moment. I wonder if there's a little something in that, because athletes, aside from wiping the odd bit of sweat away from their faces from time to time, generally don't break their stride for anything. A relaxed athlete is somebody who has their thumbs tucked into their hands, the elbows kept at around 90 degrees, and the arms swinging constantly. The head stays upright, but they swing the arms from around head height, side to side, through and to the chest, back again. The head not exactly dropping, but she's not keeping the head straight and looking forward as most do. It's regarded as the technique. And remarkably, athletes that don't do that find they get the hunched shoulders, they get a lot of pain building up, and it begins to affect the athletes. You see it when athletes are really getting tired and start to do things like look over their shoulders if they are being caught by any other competitors. So Vietnamese athlete Pan is still sitting in second position overall. And she's certainly catching Helena Go, who sits in front currently.
Everybody was exceptionally boosted up. A lot of physical strength.
Off to the watering station now.
Especially from all of us who are sitting around the stadium, giving the most support.
So a little bit of juice and the water bottle goes down.
All these participants.
And an opportunity to sponge off as well. It's not quite as humid as it was on the opening day of the track and field competition, but nearly 60%, so it's relatively humid for the athletes, and temperatures of well over 30 degrees Celsius, so it is very warm and can prove uncomfortable, but just judging by the way she's moving, she's just found a good rhythm here, has the Vietnamese athlete. And now to try to make it count, can she catch Helena Go? She's still ahead, not exactly extending her advantage anymore. Trying to take Malaysia to another gold medal. The disappointment already for Malaysia after the early withdrawal from Yuan Yu Feng, who clutched onto her left hamstring before pulling out. There is a greater visual, an infinitely better indication of just how much Pan is catching Helena Go. I dare say it's not quite so much Pan catching Go as it is Go dropping back ever so slightly. She's dropped a little in her pace. And Pan has been very consistent in her walking. Still over in third position overall is the Thai athlete Asawawong Chaoran.
Victory ceremony, women's triple jump, and later 10. Victory ceremony, men's Decathlon, 10-10. Victory ceremony, women's 200 meters, and at 10:20. Before the closing, the victory ceremony, men's 200 meters will take place. Take note and stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to draw your attention to the arena to win the track event. That is in progress. The women's 10,000.
So we return to the women's triple jump, and after round 3 it is Vu Thi Men of Vietnam still out in front with a relatively big jump of 14.15, which would put her in a very good position for gold overall. The defending champion Londa is 13.44, and Choi Moreng of Thailand currently third overall. The two Malaysian athletes, 4th and 5th, just currently out of the medals. Shout out to Nadia Zuki, the former schools champion, Asian schools champion in track and field. Kirtana Ramsamy, 13.19. Tran Hui Hua is really not going anywhere near where she's capable of jumping. And the Vietnamese silver medalist from 2015 is struggling to find any sort of jump that would put her in medal position. Puttawong of Laos finds herself only just over 12.30. Puttawong of Laos wanting to improve her triple jump. 12.36 currently her best after 2 no jumps in the opening 2 rounds. You'll need nearly 2 meters to give you an indication to catch the leader from Vietnam, Vu Thi Men. It seems unlikely at best. It does give you an indication as well of just how good that jump was by Vu Thi Men, and indeed she's in front by a good half meter and well set for the gold medal. It's going to take some jump to try to beat her. Londa, perhaps the only in this field that can catch Booty men for gold. Oh, that's very short. Doesn't look like a solid jump either. Indeed, she's gone over the board. So not a legal jump. Tebong, after 4 attempts, remains 7th.
Hari ketiga 9 piringan emas dari kuota para atlet yang akan mengambil bagian dalam acara track dan balapan ini ya. Dan untuk balapan tuan-tuan
Chan Hui Hua of Vietnam. It just looks like she's extending a little too much. Trying to build up to some speed. She's not building up a great deal of speed, and then finds that with the takeoff and the hop that she's just extending a little too much. And when you do that, you break your stride and you can't find a good final step. Athletes in the triple jump, they launch with the same leg that they land on for the first time, then it's a hop and then a step, as it's termed. So take off with the left, lands on the left, and then onto the right, and then into the pit. Shout out to Nadia Zuki, 21-year-old. She was the Asian Schools track and field gold medalist in both the long jump and the triple jump as far back as 2013. Throws her head back in despair again. It's not a legal jump. Just getting it wrong. And from the very start, she's been struggling with the plant. Just get a takeoff right. Needs to change her distance better. It can be upsetting to athletes sometimes. You've got 6 jumps to go now. She just wants to see where she was, how far over, so that she can adjust her mark perhaps. If you're not entirely confident about where you're going to plant, you could land short, but if you're not launching off the board, you are losing not only distance, but a little bit of a better base from which to launch your triple jump. Kirtana Ramsamy of Malaysia. 13.19. She finds herself currently 1 place outside the medals. Athletes going in a different order now. After 3 jumps, they will jump in the order in which they are leading, in reverse. So in other words, the best jumper will go last. After 3 rounds. No. Disappointment for the Malaysian jumpers again. Another no jump. Big no jump. And she's registered a 13.19. A slight improvement on that and should be in the medals. It really is a game of centimetres. The long jump. Now, into the medals, potentially. 13.32. Good enough to put her in 3rd overall. Ring of Thailand.
22 minutes.
Very deliberate build-up here. Karinya Choimareng of Thailand. Good speed down the
5
runway, but not quite getting out to where she wanted to. It's a legal jump, but lacking in real distance. She's going to improve on her 13.32. The disappointing part is just how really big her first jump was, bar the fact that she was a little over the board.
The triple jump women taking place to witness and encourage them with your thunderous applause as well.
So 12.68. Nowhere near where she wanted to be. It doesn't improve on her third place. Now, the defending champion. And so far, very consistent series. 13.26 her worst, 13.44 her best. But the defending champion needs something closer to the SEA Games record of 14.17 that she set 4 years ago to get herself into the gold medal position. Good speed down the runway, good takeoff as well, and that looked a little better, but the end result is going to be well short. She'll stay in that silver medal position for now. Maria Natalia Londa. A chance of winning a third consecutive double at the 2017 SEA Games is fast slipping away.
With the record 14.17 meters.
Wu Timen's 14.15 is not being challenged at the moment by any competitor in the field, including the defending champion Londa. 13.52, so a slight improvement on her best in the series. Here is the gold medalist elect. It's going to take some jump to beat 14.15. She got it in her to improve on that. Perhaps set the SEA Games record. She's just 2 centimeters off a new SEA Games record. And that would really rub salt in the proverbial wound of Londa if she were to be beaten and have her record broken.
With 25 minutes and 23 seconds.
Wu Timen of Vietnam, the 27-year-old. Even she's drifting. She's getting great distance, but she's drifting to the left every time. From the takeoff, immediately drifts out to the left. And there's so much technique involved in the triple jump.
Shortly we will witness the men's Decathlon.
3 different phases technically. The approach to the board, the takeoff, and then the landing. And then there are further little intricacies that need to be focused on by the athletes. So still leading. No improvement to her 14.15. And still in gold medal position with 2 rounds remaining in this women's triple jump final. This might be an improvement for the young athlete from Laos, the 21-year-old Puttavong. Lenli Puttavong. She gets great height off the takeoff, and then she's unable to capitalize on it. She doesn't quite have the speed down the runway. Speed on the approach. So only 2 jumps remaining for the 2015 silver medalist. She was only 2 centimeters off Londa in the women's triple jump final 2 years ago. Now she is nearly 2 meters behind the leader, her compatriot Wu Timen, in this series.
Attention to the team managers. Attention.
Get into some speed on the approach. Lacking speed. She's really lacking speed. Just seems to be completely out of sorts. She's had a fairly consistent series, but it's very erratic in terms of the distances she gains in events. Now, it's to be just a hint of a hobble from the Vietnamese athlete. Maybe there's something in that.
The final will be run at 9 o'clock on 34 August 2017. Repeat. Information to the team managers. Event number 604 will be moved to straight final. Information to the team managers. Event number 604. 400 meters women, semi-final 1 and 2 will be moved to straight final. The final will be
Nur Shaidatun Nadiozuki. She's a little for her personal best, a 13.37. She set in Kuching last year. She's been battling with getting her mark right. I'm not entirely happy with the jump again. And tosses her head back in despair. She's been battling to get the mark right. And this time I dare say the mark was fine, but the actual triple jump not quite so successful. Just an incident as well. Athletes have got to watch the numbers on their backs. I saw an incident at the World Championships as well in the triple jump where the number came off and landed well behind the athlete's jersey or vest. And led to a bit of a false reading as a result. And athletes need to be very careful of where they land and whether or not they have their numbers secured. So 4th overall still for Ramasamy of Malaysia, trying to get up into the medals. Will need to improve her jump by around 15 centimeters to get into the medals. Crowd behind her. No, just never looked comfortable in that go. She's got the white flag, but by the time she hit the sandpit, she looked as if she'd thrown away that jump. It was a near perfect landing, it looked like. But again on the drift, and then just terrible. She just pulled out of it while she was in the air. Current bronze medal position. 2 jumps remaining for Chue Moreng. Doesn't need a great deal to move up into bronze medal position. Should be wanting to improve her best by around a foot if she could. Just looking up towards her coach, a little nod of the head. And sometimes the coaches will give the athletes an indication of whether or not the wind is in their favour or not. Allowed a legal wind speed of plus 2 meters per second. After that, it's deemed an advantage. this is not going to be moving her up into silver medal position. Legal jump though. So Parinya Tremoreng of Thailand just continues on her merry way, possibly into the podium. And again, another athlete whose number is coming loose. I'll just see if it scrapes into the sand. And the way athletes land could prove detrimental. So 13.27 doesn't improve her standings. 13.52 for Londa. 2 jumps remaining.
Masa 34 minit yang telah berlalu yang telah dilalui oleh peserta.
Needs to get back to her very best if she is to claim gold in this event. She's had a consistent series, very consistent series, but needs to get something special here. She's done it before, she's not going to do it this time. And athletes know. They know when they're capable of doing it, and they know when they're not. They know when everything is clicking and when something is just amiss. And they're trying to identify that. And the coach is not close by either. He's a long way away. And for a long time she's been long jump and triple jump specialist for Indonesia, who's dominated this event in Southeast Asia and indeed has made some waves on the international stage as well. Given the honour of being Indonesia's flag bearer at the Rio Olympic Games last year. A teacher by profession, Londa unable to improve on her best. Now, Vu Thi Men, that opening jump, a massive leap of 14.15 meters, puts her well in front. She's had a relatively consistent series herself. All jumps beyond 13.5 meters. Can she improve on her lead? Extend the advantage over the remainder of the field with 1 jump to go. This is not going to work, so that's a no jump for the leader. The Vietnamese athlete is sitting in a very pretty position. So after 5 rounds, 1 round to go. Vu Thi Men of Vietnam leads with defending champion Londa over half a meter behind her. And Chua Marong just holding on to the bronze medal spot ahead of the 2 Malaysians who are hoping to break into the medals. Final jump for Puatavong of Laos. This won't be an improvement for the Lao athlete. The 21-year-old will have to settle for 7th place. So series is done, 12.36 her best. Now, silver medalist from 2015, Zhang Huihua, is yet to go over 12.72. Needs to go over 13.32 if she's to get into the medals. So an improvement of 2 foot will be the only thing that can get her up into the medals once again. She's not been having a great series, and this time it's going to be a run through. That is the end of her triple jump competition, and all gone horribly wrong for the 2015 silver medalist, who will finish outside of the medals. So disappointment for one Vietnamese athlete. The other looks like she's going to be claiming gold. Just never looked like it was on. Something in her stride, not comfortable, and in the end ran through the pit. So to try to improve, she's going to need to improve by 20 centimeters on this final jump if she's to get herself into medal contention. Well, the 2013 schools track and field champion of Asia is not going to medal in the women's triple jump final. She still have the long jump to come, where she's been going relatively consistently over 6 meters. And in this triple jump, not to medal. Kirtana Ramsamy of Malaysia, a 20-year-old now, currently 1 place out of the medal standings as well. She'll need a jump of beyond 13.33 to get herself into bronze medal contention. So an improvement of at least 13 centimeters to get herself up into the medals. Well, this won't be. Again, a little disappointment from the Malaysian jumper. And the women's triple jump, despite 2 hopefuls, failed to produce another medal for Malaysia. I haven't had an official measurement, but I can tell you that that distance is not enough to see her up into the medals. And she knows it as well. The moment she landed, she knew it. A shake of the head from Ramasamy. The series is done, just short of 13 meters, that final jump. And 4th place overall with a jump of 13.19. Now, 20 centimeters behind the silver medal. And Choi Marung of Thailand find herself going beyond Londo, the defending champion, into silver medal position. Well, it was a decent looking distance, but the red flag, so a no jump.
ต้องรอดูสถิติฟาวเหรอคะ
She's got the technique right. I mean, gradual acceleration all the way up off. Very unlucky, very unlucky. Agonizingly close to being the perfect placement. So no jump on the end, and again a series that is relatively consistent, all around 13.20 mark. Now only one person can prevent Vu Thi Minh of Vietnam from claiming the gold medal. It's the defending champion, Maria Natalia Londa. Last won silver in 2011 before consecutive golds in 2013 and 2015. Still only 26 years old. Oh, it's another decent jump, but it's nowhere near the mark that she needed to try to beat the Vietnamese jumper Vu Thi Minh. So Vietnam will have another athletics gold. Great technique, wonderful approach. Just gradual acceleration, just providing that momentum. Driving her way toward the board. So Londa, the defending champion, smiles, waves to those who are watching, just acknowledging. Look at that for a consistent series. 13.14 her worst, 13.52 her best. Gold medal confirmed. What has she got in the final jump? Vu Thi Minh of Vietnam, the 27-year-old, will be the new champion of the women's triple jump. She missed out on a medal in 2015 and she finished 4th overall. Good acceleration. Didn't need to have a big takeoff and landing. Well, she's been drifting from the takeoff all through the hop, step and jump phase. But she is somebody who's proved that she's got the ability to not only break the 14-meter barrier, but to win gold. It was her first jump, a massive jump, that surely proved to be a psychological blow to all her opponents as well from the very start. Vietnam have another gold medal in the track and field. And this time, Vu Thi Minh in the triple jump. Well, just taking in her moment. Missed out on the podium in 2015, on top of the podium in 2017. We're clearly thankful. But a superb performance. Take nothing away from that enormous leap that opened her series. So Vu Thi Minh of Vietnam claims the gold. An enormous jump to open. And that was all she needed in the end to hold on to the gold ahead of the defending champion Londa, who has to settle for silver, and a fine bronze for Choi Mareng of Thailand.
For the triple jump, women's category.
Now to the women's 10,000 meter race walk. Well, Elena Go, who got off to a blistering start, has finally been caught. And another fine finish in prospect. Vietnam are proving to be in gold medal contention in a handful of events already. There's a triple jump gold that has already gone the way of Vu Thi Minh of Vietnam on this day. And now Pan Thi Bikha is looking to once again finish ahead of Elena Go of Malaysia in the 10,000 meter race walk for women. As we come into the closing stages of this race, it is neck and neck, and there'll be a little bit of pushing the body, pushing the mind as much as possible. An effort to get to the water station and come back. Just making her route a little bit longer there was Elena Go Lin Ying. Passing back marker. Coming up to back marker. For Tan Tan Sui. 2015 silver medalist in the 20,000 meter race walk. The 146 finds herself being lapped here. It's a battle for the gold medal that is on between Vietnam and Malaysia, between Pan and Go. Go still looks fresh enough to keep it up. Pan looking up at the scoreboard as well as both these athletes come around and come up to the mark. 2 laps to go, only 800 meters to go of this 10,000 meter race. It's proved to be a lot slower than expected. As the athletes forced to slow down in what has been rather hot and humid conditions, over 30 degrees Celsius. Still in third place overall is Thailand's Asawavong Chowren.
And yes, down to 2 more laps on the 10,000 meters women's walk.
Well, just how much energy has Elena got left in her? And in trying to pick up the pace, you can sometimes transgress. So while there have been warnings and cautions from the judges, there's been no disqualification for either one of these two.
Will be confirmed shortly.
A bent knee violation. There's been a couple of cautions that have been issued for loss of contact.
You can see the warming up session.
And going into the final 600 meters now of this 10,000 meter race walk. There are 2 contenders for the gold medal.
And later, men's Decathlon, discipline 9 for attempted throw will take place.
Now the photographers down on the track just trying to catch shots of the feet of the athletes. Now I remind you that there's a no contact rule. Judges that are positioned around the course must be watching to see if athletes comply with the regulations. Loss of contact with the road is an offence. And Elena Go is trying to get into the lead now. She's just passed her opponent and is trying to hold on. She went out into that lead. Pan passed her with consistency. And now Go has been holding on to the back of Pan for the last few laps. And for a moment, just look to get over the shoulder. They get up toward the 400-meter mark. And Go and Pan are now side by side. Go just wants to sneak in front and does so. Needs to be careful as well that she is not lifting, that she is not braking. Well, the leg is being straight, so no danger of a bent knee violation, it seems. But there might be one for loss of contact if she's not too careful. It's not going to be coming out in the final lap for the home favourite athlete, though, I'll tell you that much. But this, the final lap, and Elena Go is pulling out onto a good 10-meter advantage here. With Panti Bika of Vietnam, bronze medalist in the 20,000 meter 2 years ago, who looked to have done enough to get past Elena Go with only a handful of laps remaining and tried to hold on to the advantage. She's been unable to do so. It's going to need to be some fight back over the last 150 meters if she's to get to that gold medal position. But at the moment it looks to be another Malaysian gold. Elena Go Ling Yin. Well, she's got a really great tempo going now. She's extending her advantage around the bend and she gets into the final straight. And she knows she is striding to glory here. She's striding towards the gold medal. It's not the fastest time that we've seen over the women's 10,000 meter race walk. In fact, it's a good 7.5 minutes outside of record time. But after finishing 4th in the 20,000 meter in Singapore 2 years ago, Elena Go Ling Yin of Malaysia claims the gold in the 10,000 meter race walk for women. It was a finely judged race for the most part by Vietnam's Panti Bika. And the bronze medalist in the 20,000 meter in Singapore is the silver medalist in the 10,000 meter in Kuala Lumpur. But in front of her home fans, the Malaysian Elena Go Ling Yin will get to celebrate. She needs to get off the track firstly. As much as she wants to celebrate, she's still technically on the course. She is on a track that's seeing other athletes trying to post personal bests or trying to finish the race. Coming home in third position overall, though, a fine bronze medal as well for Thailand's Asavavong Chauruen. So the Thai athlete who was just behind Pan for much of this race, unable to go with the Vietnamese, and Elena Go Ling Yin of Malaysia, who took out a blistering start. It was set to be a grand day for Malaysia because Yuan Yu Fang, a five-time gold medalist, came out of retirement to do this race in front of her home fans. And then she pulled out with a hamstring injury. Elena Go Lin Ying took the mantle, took up the challenge, and has been rewarded in front of her home fans. Tears of joy being shed by the Malaysian. And perhaps a sense of disbelief, and tears flowing, but there'll be some celebratory moments later when she receives her gold medal in front of her home fans and gets to listen to her anthem. Good luck, Elena Go. Go for gold. And it's come true. In front of her home fans in Kuala Lumpur 2017.
The 10,000 meters women's race, Elena Go Ling Yin.
Photo opportunities. It's just moments of delight every time she composes herself for the briefest of moments. The tears come again. This was the moment in which she strode away from Pan of Vietnam. In the end, a good, solid victory for the Malaysian. A sense of relief as she crossed the finish line. And she knew she's a champion. She's a gold medalist.
Para hadirin Royal Stadium dan hadirin sekalian, dipaparkan di depan skor kali ini keputusan 10.000 meter jalan kaki wanita akhir, mana untuk tempat pertama Elena Go Ling Yin.
The tears continue to flow for the Malaysian champion. Emotional moments. Being overcome by the emotion of being Southeast Asian Games champion. So Yuan Yu Feng had to pull out with a hamstring injury after a couple of laps, but it was her compatriot who strode to glory in the women's 10,000 meter walk. Elena Go Ling Yin, 52.51.5, ahead of Vietnam's Panti Bikha, with Asavavong Chauruen of Thailand getting a very good bronze. As things stand, entering the 8th event, the men's pole vault, Aris Toledo leads from Sutisak Singkon. Bui Van Su of Vietnam currently in the bronze medal position. Adisak Mibunya with 3,327 points. Needed some treatment after the 110 high hurdles. A DNS for the Malaysian and a DNF for the defending champion Nguyen. Meanwhile, the pole vault continues. This is Mibunya. Unable to find the clearance for Thailand, trying to get himself up into bronze medal position. His compatriot, Sutisak Singgon, needs a decent pole vault to get himself ahead of Arias Toledo. Arias Toledo of Philippines. Looking good, out in front. Clipped his left ankle in the men's 110 high hurdles and just needed to be stretchered off the track. And seemingly not serious enough to rule him out of competition. Desperate to claim the gold medal, Toledo. He was among the favourites for the gold, and there was always going to be a battle between Toledo and Sutisak Singkon. The expected battle was to come from Nguyen Van Hue of Vietnam, but he pulled out after 2 events, the defending champion. Going again because he's cleared the height. Still can't get over. Just needs to register a height. The other athletes will jump quite a bit higher. Well, pole vault is another one of those particularly difficult events. Strong technique is required, strong plant, upper body strength. It's clearly there for decathletes. They have good all-round body control. They have elements tested with strength, speed, agility, stamina. And throughout the 10 events they do over 2 days. Day 1 sees the athletes compete in the 100 metre, the long jump, the shot put, the high jump and the 400 metre. Day 2 then, 110 hurdles, the discus, the pole vault. And then after this they'll be tossing a javelin as far as they can, and then the final event, the 1,500 metre. So preparing to enter the men's pole vault competition in this 8th event of the Decathlon. Sutisak Singkon, tracksuit comes off. The black substance you see in his hands is a type of resin that is used by the athletes to gain a better grip. Not a particularly long run up, but a very good clearance first up. Needn't have worried. He's a man who can go over 4:10 without much problem. Oh, he could have fitted another one of himself between him and the bar, the way he crossed that. Enormous height in getting over. So he'll feel confident that his pole vault is right up there at the moment. Well over, well over. Now, to clear that sort of height when you've got the bar raised. Now, here is the men's decathlon leader after 7 events. Here is Toledo of the Philippines. In the 8th event, the pole vault, and he too well clear. And just holding on to that gold medal position. Does not want to let the gold out of his grasp. 3.60 meters. Easy for the front 2 in this men's decathlon. Bui of Vietnam, he too comfortably clear. So 3m60 is not proving to be a problem at all for the three currently in the middle positions. So first time clearances for all three. Singgon of Thailand, Toledo of Philippines, and Bui of Vietnam. All entering the men's pole vault decathlon at 3m60.
Ladies and gentlemen, while the men's decathlon Pacific 8 pole vault is going on, we will take a short break or intermission for the track race, and we will commence at 8 p.m. for the men's decathlon discipline line general row and men's triple jump finals.
So bar being raised, here is Toledo now. 3m80. The decathlon leader.
For all teams participating in the men's decathlon discipline 8 pole vault.
Well, Toledo will clear again, very comfortable for him, 3m80, no problem, first time clearance. A big smiley face for our leader in the decathlon. Got some good acceleration, nice pole drop as well, plants it solidly, good takeoff. A big swing, the rock back and trying to clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this afternoon,
Singgon, oh, he too again, an enormous clearance. So these two are well clear at 3m80. Now, what Singgon will be wanting to do is just get as far ahead of his opponent as possible.
Discus throw, women's triple jump, women's 10,000 walk, and right now men's decathlon.
The height of this pole vault will be converted to points, added to the overall tally. Gee, some enormous height, absolutely enormous height. Now, Bui Van Su shouldn't have a problem at 3m80. Good speed, and translates that into a very good takeoff, upswing, and indeed clearance ultimately. So 3m80 not proving to be problematic for any one of the medalists either. So the only three that remain in the pole vault competition.
From the national stadium, Bukit Jalil, in conjunction with the 29th SEA Games 2017.
So Adisak Mebuya already out.
Para hadirin luar stadium yang dihormati sekalian, acara yang masih lagi berlangsung di kali ini adalah acara lomba pengalaman Decathlon untuk disiplin yang ke-8. Namun jangan lupa pada malam nanti.
So the three contestants remain. And 3 contestants. What it does mean is it's less recovery time between each pole vault attempt. So first attempt at 4 meters now for Toledo of the Philippines. All 3 of the medal contenders entered at 3 meters 60. They've all had first time clearances at 3 meters 60 and 3 meters 80, but now up into the fun territory, the fun zone as some would call it. There is Toledo. And build a little speed down the runway. Oh, this time 4 meters gets the better of him. So his first unsuccessful attempt. Just trying to get up. Didn't have a great extension this time. And just trying to push the pole away. Got it wrong, clipped the bar, down it went. Now, this potentially is an advantage for Sincon. Here is Sincon. Currently in silver medal position. Again, a big clearance, easy clearance as well for the Thai. So that puts him in pole position, as it were. Very easy, good extension, great little turn and push of the pole away, and a good clearance of the bar. Where do you want to go next? I'm going to go 410. There we go. And Toledo and Suthasang Sincon in this intense battle for the gold medal. Puri from Vietnam. Plant up and over. Oh, and a very good clearance from Bui Van Su as well. So Vietnamese doing himself a few favours as well. Big clearance. If he can get in a giant leap, might well be able to put a little pressure on Toledo and Sincon in the closing 2 events. This is the 8th event of 10. So Toledo just changing his pole. With different sweep points and different flexes. Well, Toledo managed to gain the lead after his very impressive run in the men's 400 meter last night. Ran a 48.13. Bui Van Su was the only sub-50 second runner, only other sub-50 second runner in that field. Suthasang Sincon only managed a 52.93, but he was a man who had managed to successfully claim victories in the first 3 events of the decathlon. Here's Toledo now just unwrapping the alternate pole. Toledo. Oh, again he gets it wrong. Just getting it wrong. Can't get over at 4 meters. He'll have a 3.80 meter clearance if he fails at his third attempt. It'll be him to go straight away again, because both other athletes have gone clear at 4 meters. So no improvement despite the change in pole. Third and final attempt for Aries Toledo of Philippines. Good plant, much better extension, and that is what he needed. As and when required, comes up with a big jump. So he's over at 4 meters, which means the 3 medal contenders are all over the 4 meter mark. He's got 2 failures. It's about the height you eventually clear. Doesn't matter on countback. This is not like the men's pole vault where it matters how many attempts you take to clear. This is the decathlon in which only the height counts. He's struggling though with his turn and clear and push, but a much better extension this time from Toledo. So a few final instructions from the coach. He needs to amend his technique somehow. Just needs to get a better extension. It was infinitely better on that last jump. Just a little more powder. So he'll have first attempt at 4 meters 10 to come before both Sincon and Bui have their clearance attempts at 4 meters 10. Again, the extension is good, so he's first to clear 4:10. This is the height that Sincon cleared at the Asian Games on his way to becoming Asian champion. And he's 4:10 as well in Bangkok in 2016, Sincon. So this is great pressure on his opponent from Toledo. Sincon needs to go clear here, and he's well clear. So first time clearance at 4 meter 10. He'll move it up for his next attempt. And lost his number in the process. Currently being handed back to him by one of the officials. the pin has come undone. It's actually torn off. So there is Toledo. Is next going at 4 meters 20. Wu Van Su looks like has upped his next attempt to skip 4:10. Might be going up to 4:20 directly. Let's conserve a little energy. That is sublime. It stayed on, and look at the delight, sheer delight from Iris Toledo. The higher he goes, the closer he is to confirming that he will be the man to beat in the final two events. And he's edging closer to what he might by now believe could be the gold medal. He knows that the javelin is still to come, which is an event in which Sinkon is perhaps more proficient. Best of well over 60 meters for the Thai decathlete in the javelin. So Toledo needs to make the pole vault count, and he is. So Sinkon, 4 meters 20. This is his time to step up. Speed, plant, extension, and that was not very good. A little bit of pressure building now. Toledo was struggling at 380. And then he's subsequently gone clear at 380, 4 meters, 410 and 420 in succession. Sinkon feeling the pressure a little at 420. He knows his personal best is still 410. But the way he was clearing the heights before this, that was nowhere near the type of jumps he's been placing in when the bar has been a little lower. It's about getting it right. Psychologically, though, what Toledo did was a bit of a hammer blow, and it's proved vital. Now, Wu Van Su from Vietnam, 3rd place overall. And this to go for a first-time clearance at 420. Oh, again, looked very comfortable leading up to this, but he opted out of 410 and instead has hit the bar here at 420. So Toledo, the only athlete clear at 420. So suddenly the pressure back on. And Toledo taking the opportunity to rehydrate and just cool his body down with a little cold water over the head. Also drink as much as he can. He's going to be going for 430 next. Sinkon, meanwhile, still needs to get over at 420. This is his second attempt. Well, nearly got it right this time. Clipped the bar on the way. And now has one attempt remaining to go clear at 4 meters 20. 410 is the height that he's been able to clear fairly consistently over the last year. But he hasn't gone beyond that. He needs to try to make it happen here. Slaps the mat in frustration. One attempt remaining. Here's Toledo, meanwhile, is so a little inspiration, a little further help. He's the only athlete clear at 420 in the men's pole vault. Van-Su. Plant, extension. Oh, that extension looked great. Well, that was a very good looking extension. Good speed, nice plant. His upswing looked good. Little rock back. As he extended up, it looked really good, but almost pushed himself into the bar as he tried to go for the clearance. We won't be too disappointed with that. It was just a slight brush of the bar. He knows he's got the power there. But as it stands, only Toledo has gone clear at 4 meters 20. Boy Van-Su is a good 500 or 400 points behind Sincon. And Sincon and Toledo are separated by only a handful of points for gold and silver. It's Toledo who leads, and Toledo's already cleared 4 meters 20. So any further clearances by Toledo and a failure here by Sincon will mean that Toledo extends his advantage with what will be only 2 events remaining, and Toledo will have a little more, you would imagine, in the men's 1,500 meter, although Sincon should dominate in the men's javelin. Needs this and gets it. It stayed on, so 4 meters 20 has been conquered by the Asian champion. Sutisak Sincon at 4 meters 20 goes clear. Now only Boy Van-Su to get clear at 4:20. Ooh, that was close, very close indeed. Well, he's not got too much left there in terms of height to play with, and he'll be delighted that he's gone clear at 4 meters 20. Final attempt from the Vietnamese. Oh, took it out on the way up. So Boy Van-Su goes out, having cleared 4 meters 10. That is his pole vault over. And only 2 competitors remain. There is Toledo and Sutisak Sincon. Unsurprisingly, they are 1 and 2 in the overall standings. With this the 8th event. Toledo, heavy strappings over his neck and right shoulder in particular. First athlete to clear 4 meters 20 after needing 3 attempts to go over at 3 meter 80. Change of pole proved decisive. Now an opportunity to clear 4 meters 30. Got over it, agonizingly close, got over it and then brought it down on the way down, so he sees the positive side of this. The rock back looked all right, the extension looked okay, but just struggling with the turn and push. Sincon got to 4 meters 20, now finds himself attempting 4 meter 30. His first attempt. Never looked like he was in it. Just trying to get a little too much momentum down the runway. So first time failure at 4 meter 30 for both the remaining athletes in the men's pole vault for this decathlon. Toledo will be next. Again, that is a failure, but that looked nothing like his first attempt, which looked very positive for the most part. Instructions from his coach continue. Second attempt at 4 meter 30 for Sutitak Sinkon. Quicker, perhaps just rushed it a little, disappointed as he came down. So one attempt remaining for both Sinkon and Toledo. They've both cleared 4 meters 20. The athlete numbers, the heights they're clearing, and then the pole flexes. Numbers, the 50, the 70, 30 different pole flexes, pole resistance. And Toledo, third and final attempt. Can he go clear at 4:30? No. So he will finish the pole vault of the men's decathlon at 4 meters 20. Which is a good height. It's a very good height. Indeed, he should keep his lead overall in the decathlon. So the Sinkon. One opportunity remaining to go clear at 4 meter 30. If he could do that, it'll not only be his personal best, it will also See him narrowing the gap between him and gold medal position. There is Toledo at the moment. So Sutisak Singon using an 11-foot pole, trying to get over 4 meter 30, he clears it. There's a new PB, and certainly he's closing the gap on Aries Toledo, who's currently leading. This is the 8th event of the decathlon, and Sutisak Singon, after 2 failures and a clearance at 4 meters 20, has done 2 failures and a clearance at 4 meters 30, and has another opportunity here to apply some real pressure on Aries Toledo. Well, the official just making sure that that is a 4. So, just a moment, and then 4 meters 40 in the offing. So, 3rd time clearance at 4 meter 30. Once the bar has been raised, he'll have 3 minutes to have his first attempt at trying to clear it. A moment just to try to relax the muscles or rehydrate, whichever he prefers. Whereas Toledo, with congratulations, he knows what an effort that is. 4 meter 30, that's a big clearance for this man. So Singon, first attempt at 4 meter 40. And disappointing effort this time, but I believe that he has the ability to come back. Failures at 4 meter 20 and 4 meter 30 for both his first 2 jumps, and then the clearance suddenly with his final jump. And he's attempting to go to a height he's never been before, perhaps in training. Athletes sometimes have some will concede that they've gone beyond what is their own world mark or personal best in training. To get it right in competition is sometimes a little more difficult. Consider so many elements, aspects of competition. And Singon, after a brief moment to gather his composure, he's allowed a handful of minutes, 3 minutes for his attempt. a little more resin on the palm. And perhaps that'll be doing the trick. The windsocks suggest there's not very much of a breeze in the stadium. There was said to be a breeze of up to 11 kilometers an hour, but nothing quite like that. Relatively calm conditions. If anything, it's going slightly across Sincon. He's trying to psych himself up before his second attempt at 4 meters 40. Placed down the runway, plant, and never got up. Just couldn't get the extension right. Doesn't even reach the bar. So one attempt to come. The only athlete remaining. The decathlete leader, 4:20 is what he cleared. Van Su only clearing 4 meters. Not even reaching the bar this time was man who's hoping to win the gold here. Sutisak Singgon of Thailand. After 7 events, he's just over 4,800 points. It's not going to be quite near his personal best of over 7,700 points. There's a little drink of water. He's got around 2.5 minutes left. Clock counts down from 3 minutes. Allows the athletes opportunity to recover if they are the last athlete. But they have 3 minutes of time to get the jump completed from when the bar has been reset. Trying to prepare the pole a little more resin, sticky substance that keeps the grip quite firm. So needs to get it all right, needs to get his run right, accelerate slightly into it. Get the pole drop right, plant it solidly, get a good takeoff, swing up, use that extension, his rock back, and then turn and push as he makes the clearance. It's just got to go through your mind for the pole vault. Trying to perfect your technique is tough because as a decathlete you have got 10 events to work on. That includes things like the stamina of the 1,500 meter, the speed of the 100 and 110 hurdles, the power of events like discus and javelin, techniques involved as well, and particularly something like the shot put and the pole vault require a great deal of technique to get the best out of every effort. Third and final attempt at 4 meter 40. He fails, but his clearance at 4 meter 30 means he has been the best of the pole vaulters in this decathlon field, and he will close the gap on Aries Toledo of the Philippines in this men's punishing events. 8 events now completed. Confirmation then of the results, failing to register a height. Adisak Mibunya, Sutisak Sinkon though wins with 4:30. Aris Toledo, Decathlon leader, wins with 4:20. Second with 4:20, and Buivan Su clear at 4 meters. So overall, as things stand, after 8 events, Aris Toledo is holding on, but by less than 40 points. Just 38 points separate him and Sinkon going into the final 2 events. Buivan Su looks to have wrapped up his bronze medal position, but he'll see if he can try to chase down silver or gold. Confirmation of the win for Malaysia's Jackie Wong ahead of Pun Mawan of Thailand and Ferreira. These are the men's hammer, the women's 200 meter, the athletes that are through to the final. It's going to be a ding-dong battle. Richardson, Nelson, Pereira, all going head-to-head, and the men's too, with Biram, Minapra, Hairul Hafiz, Firdaus. Very capable runners over the 200 meter. All fine bend runners as well. Hairul Hafiz more straight line speed, but let's see what he's got in the final. In the women's triple jump, confirmation of the results. Wuti Men with a massive leap. It was a 4.15 m. It was her first jump. Managed to launch her to what would be victory in the end ahead of the defending champion Londa. Thailand with another bronze.